So let's talk about getting some major home runs. I'm not really a baseball person. I love going to games. I didn't play baseball, played a lot of sports, but not baseball. But baseball has a lot of great analogies. So if you think of the top 10, top 20, top 50, maybe even top 100, crypto, if they double, they triple, maybe they quadruple, whatever it is, that's great. Don't get me wrong. That's fantastic. However, we don't want just a bunch of base hits, right? We'd love to get some home runs and really knock some out of the park. We want some of those 20x, 50x, 100x. And now, for me, now is the time to take a look at those. This is December 9th. What? No, it's January 9th, 2025. Big dumb animal, obviously. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. So what am I talking about? Well, if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I think I'm fairly conservative in some of my picks. I do have about 60 crypto, but I'm in specific categories and I'm in fairly large market cap coins within those categories. And by fairly large, I'm thinking 500 million or up, or a billion and up. And so I've got a couple smaller ones. So here's what I'm doing now. I'm not really selling what I have, but the bull run really hasn't started yet. But I think we're right there on the edge, and it could happen in the next couple months. So two things I'm going to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about my methodology, because I think you can apply it in your own way. And then two, I'm going to show you the 8 different cryptos here in the AI space that I chose to try to get some home runs. So here's my methodology. We talked about this, and yesterday it was these crypto narratives for 2024. Essentially, these were the ones that did the best, and it looks like from everything I've read and looked and seen that these will probably do really well again in 2025. AI, meme coins, RWA, layer 1, DPIN, decentralized physical infrastructure, DeFi, finance, just like RWA, gaming, layer 2. Okay, so my suggestion, and I do the same thing when it comes to stocks. If you're a medical doctor, then you probably will do fairly well picking stocks in the pharmaceutical industry or medical device industry. I don't have any medical background. I know nothing about it. So I don't buy those kind of stocks because I don't understand them. So try to apply that same logic here and say, of all the categories that we believe are going to do well in this bull run, which category do you understand the best? Go into that one and then start digging down. Because if you understand that category generally, or just do some basic research. So I chose AI. I chose AI because I think it's going to do one of the best. And I believe some of the smaller ones might do fairly well. So I said, okay, I'm going to look at AI and I'm going to start at like 500 million on down. And one of these is all the way down to like 6 million. So here are the 8. I'll throw them up here on the screen. We'll start with applications. And that's the other thing. Break down the category. So if it's DeFi, you might break it into decentralized exchanges, borrowing and lending. I throw RWA in there. And then in those categories, look for ones in each one of those categories. So you're kind of diversifying small cap. Because look, if Bitcoin is at $1 trillion or 2 trillion, whatever it is it going to 100x in 3 months? No one believes that. But if you're looking at a 50 million or 100 million or 10 million crypto, could that 20x, 50x, or 100x? Yeah, absolutely. That's entirely possible. So the only way to get those huge gains is to look at small cap. So I'm not abandoning my current portfolio. It's staying, but I'm throwing a little bit of money at a bunch of smaller ones. So within AI, I personally break it down into infrastructure, agents, and applications. Some of the infrastructure are larger ones, but there are some smaller ones. Infrastructure being, for example, if it's Render or Aether and people are using the GPUs. You go into CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, whatever. You choose the category. This happens to be AI. You can see a lot of these we've already talked about. I'm in a bunch. You're probably in a bunch. But these are all in the multi-billions as we go down. So I started down here, and the first one, the largest market cap on my list is PAAL AI. Now, I've had this one for a while. You've probably seen. So here's what I do. I go in and I say, okay, let me check out the page of PAAL AI. I'm just going to do this for 1 or 2 and then tell you all of my stuff. You don't need to see. Okay, first thing is where all the exchanges they're on. The more, the better. But you'll notice on a lot of these, as we get to smaller ones, they'll probably only be available on 1 or 2. So it's always good to make sure you have accounts on like BitUnix, I believe is completely I don't think you need a VPN or anything for that. MEXC, if you're in the US, you might need a VPN. But the easiest thing to do for me is to just use my MetaMask wallet, put some Ethereum in there, go to Uniswap, and purchase them. That's how I bought all the small ones I'm going to talk about. Just did it. They're sitting in my MetaMask wallet, and I did it through Uniswap. So I go here, and I just click website, and I click X. And I go, all right, if we go to X, how many people are following them? What do they do in terms of recent news? They just did a deal with IBM. There's another post here that they just redid their website. You go and you check out their website to see what they do and get an idea. Usually they'll put statistics up here. If they have statistics, they'll put partnerships that they've done. Now, a lot of these AI agents, just as an aside, started specifically with respect to trading and finance. They thought, oh, we're going to make AI apps to buy and sell and do that sort of thing with stocks. And then they've all branched out. So that's how this one started. But these are really a way for you to create your own agents and create your own bots and release them into different communities, if you will. Brilliant. I think agents and bots are going to be huge going forward. So that's the first one, PAAL AI. The next one is, if we go down the list, and what I literally did was I went down this list and I just clicked every one, and I've got my reasons as to why it shows one over the other. A couple of these I liked, but here's one, TARS. I like TARS because it's on the Solana protocol, and they have agent coming up. When I went over to their Twitter, that happens to be a virtual assistant where you just speak to it. I think bots and agents are going to be huge, obviously, and I believe the virtual the voice ones will be amazing. I mean, imagine if you're a doctor and you literally can just talk to your phone and say, hey, does this patient's heart medicine going to interfere with their medicine we've got them on for arthritis or diabetes, whatever it is, and it can just tell you immediately, yeah, don't put those two together, because that could be, oh, okay, I won't do that. Or you're a mechanic and you're not going to a computer, you're working on a car, and you want to just talk and say, oh man, I don't know what's going on. It's one of 5 things. I don't want to test all 5 things. And you say, hey, here are the symptoms, and you speak them out loud. This is what's happening when I try to turn over the car. And then the voice comes back and says, there's an 85% chance it's the alternator. I'm like, aha, I'll check the alternator first. And then you go over, you plug it, you check the alternator first. There's many ways. So to me, I love it because it's on Solana, and I like it because it's got this voice one coming out. Anyway, those are just the reasons I picked that one. That's my second one. So let's just go down through the list. So there you've got my methodology. Pick a category that we all believe is going to do very well. Pick a category of those that are going to do well that you understand. Break it into a couple mini industries so you can kind of diversify. Because I don't know if agents are going to do well, or infrastructure is going to do well, or applications within AI. So I picked a couple in each of those categories. So the next is LMWR. Again, that's AI application. It's about a 74 million market cap. Oh, I should have said the PAAL was the largest, 340 million market cap. I'm trying to get smaller than that. TARS is at 190 million. Now, both of those I bought a while ago, so they had smaller market caps. That's what they are now. LMWR, LMWR. And LMWR's market cap is 74 million. I'm talking about their current cap, not their fully diluted. Then we've got DCK, DexCheck. Now, a lot of these, you'll notice when you pull them up, they'll say like DexCheck AI. And then this one only has 2 pages of exchanges, but they're only a 13 million market cap. So you hop over to their website and you hop over to their Twitter just to check it out. And like I said, with this one, with DexCheck, it started off with trading and that sort of thing as well. You'll see that when you go to their x.com. They talk about elevate your trading game with AI-powered analytics tools, on-chain data. This was the 4th one in what I would just call the applications or somewhat bots. Okay, the next 4, and that was 13 million, so that's a small one. Now, let's look at infrastructure. I was trying to find some that are generally in the infrastructure space, but not the huge ones like the Renders, the IO.net, the Aethers, that sort of thing. So this one I thought was really interesting, and it's Palm AI. Pull this one up so you can see their PAAL. Total market cap 86 million. Now, as you can see, there's not many exchanges on this one. So easiest thing to do, you'll notice some of these you might have yourself, but of course, Uniswap. The Palm AI to me is interesting because they're in what they call GameFi, like DeFi, GameFi. And then if you look at their website, they've got some of the new things that they've come up with and they've implemented recently. That was my 5th one. Next is Morph Weare, and it's weird because it's XMW. MORPHWARE, XMW. You know, when you go, and as you can see, they're only on 4 exchanges here, but Uniswap, of course. And sometimes when you pull them up and you're buying them on something small, or you're swapping Ethereum for something like Morph Weare through Uniswap, sometimes you can actually search using the contract address if you're worried, because you want to make sure you pick the right one, because sometimes people will put coins up that have similar names. Morph Weare's AI platform designed to provide various services as large language models, AI agents, decentralized machine learning. This one was very interesting to me at only 100 million. I'm not going into all the reasons why. I'm going to try to keep this short. 2 more. OpenServe. I was surprised that there's still such a low market cap at 65 million. They're just available on Uniswap, but I think this is a very interesting one as well. OpenServe is, as they say here, infrastructure for autonomous AI agents. So they're in the infrastructure category, but for agents. And then we've got, lastly, that was OpenServe SERV. Okay, so the next one is Orbit, or I should say the last one that I'm going to show. And just know that if you pull it up, as you can see, there's an Orbit ticker Grift, Orbit AI ticker Orbit, which is the one we're talking about, also an Orbit protocol Orbit. So when you're using something like Uniswap, make sure that graphic matches, or just put in the actual address of this ticker. Of this crypto here. So Orbit AI, ticker ORBIT, a $5 million market cap. Again, this one is only on a couple. It's easiest just to go over to Uniswap and do it there. And some of these smaller ones also charge a fee themselves. It's odd. So not only do you have your gas fees and the transaction fees, you've got a fee that they charge, which might be like 4 or 5%. Orbit here empowers users to deploy autonomous AI agents with unmatched privacy and control. And you can hop over to their Twitter as well. Of course, you can hop over to their Twitter as well to see some of the more recent things that they've talked about that they've been doing. I saw Orbit, just like SERV. I followed some people on X.com, and they've been talking about it for a while. And I thought, why not? It's a $5 million market cap. Although it's going to have low liquidity and that sort of thing. Let's see what happens. Lastly, what I always do, which you should obviously do as well, is of course pull up their information on TradingView. This is PAAL, and you can see that just back here in March and April, where was it? Where is it now? What it started at? One reason I like to see what it started at is I like to get an idea of, some of the earlier investors. What are they looking at in terms of a return? And so you can kind of do the math depending upon where it was versus where it is now. But I think all of these have a long way to go, but take a look at them. So there it is. Basically, I would say pick one of those categories that we all think are going to do well, whether it's AI, DeFi, whatever it is. Look at those categories, pick the one you know the most about, then look into that category and try to break it into a couple groups. Say, well, within this category of, say, DeFi, we've got borrowing and lending, we've got RWA, we've got something else. And then look within each of those at really small market caps. Look at their website, look at the Twitter, look at TradingView. And then if all of those three things look good to you, then go ahead, hop on over to like Uniswap and get some. Now, in terms of, I don't know how to put it, but if I put 10 or 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 into some other coins, into one other crypto, some of these I'm only doing like somewhere between $500 to $2,000. So the money amount is different for everyone. The idea is you can see I'm doing a small amount and I'm trying to spread it out. I just did this for AI. Since I don't believe this bull run started yet, I'm going to go hop over and sort of start doing this for DeFi as well and see how many of these I can spread out. Maybe get a couple home runs. Wouldn't that be cool? Have a great day. Thanks for watching. As I always say, hope we can make generational wealth together with crypto. Bye.